Hello guys, going to be going over this MLB PrizePicks slate for Monday, June 20th. We got 9 games today. One is in the morning, so that one actually, David Peterson, there is a tweet by the Mets, or not the official account, but David Peterson, he could possibly miss the start, and it would be Trevor Williams most likely filling in because he is on regular rest. He pitched June 15th, so it would line up. He's someone that started in the past for the Mets, and he's actually having a pretty solid season. I would honestly say that he's been better than Peterson, so that, of course, is going to affect how this game goes for, like, Jazz Chisholm, Soler, and Garrett Cooper. Cooper I was maybe a little interested in if Peterson was going to start righty-lefty. Cooper's been pretty good, but we're just going to have to wait on who the official starter is for the Mets. But taking a look at this slate, starting off with first inning runs allowed with the other teams that we do know. Gonna take 2 unders, no run first inning props. The first one's gonna be the Yankees and the Rays. And this is gonna be Garrett Cole versus Shane McClanahan. 2 of the top pitchers in the game. The last time I think these 2 guys faced off against each other, I didn't take this because this was in Yankee Stadium, but today it's gonna be in the Trop. And that stadium, the difference between Yankee Stadium and Tropicana Field, it's huge. And Aaron Judge ended up homering his first at-bat to ruin the under, but that's why I didn't take it. This time it's going to be in Tropicana Field. That's a much better pitcher's ballpark. So Judge, it's still going to be, a trouble spot, the biggest threat to the under on this one because he just solo off of anyone. But that is definitely a positive for taking the under, just the ballpark, and yeah, it's a 3.5, 3.2 run total, so I'm going to trust that. Hopefully Judge doesn't homer, and if he doesn't, I feel like both sides should be able to be scoreless, at least for the first inning, so gotta go with the under for this one. And now the second one is going to be the D-backs and Padres. Zach Davies against Yu Darvish. Zach Davies has actually been a pretty solid pitcher this year. He's had some really, he's just had walk troubles, and also he just really hasn't been any good some of these previous seasons, like last year, but it seems like he's kind of found something. He's had some easy matchups recently, but there is a big thing about this game in that it's going to be in San Diego, pitcher's ballpark, 3-run, 4.1 for the other side, and I expect Darvish to be able to keep D-backs scoreless for the first inning, but Manny Machado hurt his knee or ankle on Sunday running to first base, so it looked pretty bad. I don't think he's going to play, and when you take out Machado, that is their best hitter. There's still no Tatis, so this lineup is going to be significantly weaker. And looking at the Padres, against righties, so Zach Davies actually has some reverse splits, but Padres against righties, they're kind of middle. They are 17th, 97 WRC plus. Davies, he uses a sinker a lot, so that's going to lead to a lot of ground balls. Not the highest ground ball rate, actually, when you think of a guy who uses the sinker a ton. Change up, 2 pitches that he uses the most. Ground ball rate's at 43.6 right now. Pretty much even where he's been. And you're taking out Machado for batted balls. The Padres ground ball rate, they are 10th. So they replaced Machado with Sergio Alcantara on Sunday. He's a much worse hitter than Machado is, higher ground ball rate as well. So I would think this is going to, obviously it's going to help out Davies. So hopefully that makes this one hit the under. And then this leads into right with Zach Davies' pitcher fantasy score play. So this opened at 24.5, but it fell to 22.5. And I'm going to take the over on this one. Talked about Zach Davies just getting a much better matchup against this Padres team, just missing 2 of their best players. And, pitching in Petco, the weather, the ballpark, it should be favorable for him. And he can go over 100 pitches. He also can go deep because he's pretty efficient. He gets some soft contact. In particular, or specifically this year, hard hit rate only 3.9%, one of the better rates all of his career. And his K rate, never going to be a high guy, but walk rate's also lower. ERA, it's actually even the expected is lower. So that just looks pretty solid for Zach Davies. It seems like maybe he's figured something out. So I'm going to take the over on this one. When you're efficient, you can go 6 innings, hopefully get that quality start plus 4, and really with the 22.5 line, I don't think he really needs to get the win here, because it's probably going to be tough with Darvish on the other side, but I don't think he needs it, so I'm perfectly fine with playing this one here. And then I do have a pitchers thrown line, which is going to be Garrett Cole, 97.5. I think this is an over. The Yankees, they use, or Severino pitched 5 innings actually, and they gave up 10 runs. So I think they ended up using 3 guys in their bullpen. And looking at the Yankees bullpen, they use Castro, Marinaccio, and Peralta. And these guys pitched, it was like 20, 20, and 16 for these 3 guys pitches respectively. And then you look at Clay Holmes, Michael King, who've been used recently, and Cole's a righty. So I think what's gonna, I just exited out the lineup page, but probably when Ji-Man Choi is gonna be batting, because it's a lefty, at that point, if Cole has a high pitch count, maybe that's when they go to lefty, because you look at the lefties, that's where they kind of have their guys rested at. Benuelos, I don't know how to say his name, Lucas. These 2 guys are the more rested ones on the team, and I just think you need some length out of Garrett Cole. He's the ace on the staff, so I think it could easily go over 100 pitches. This really sets up to be a pitcher's duel, and Cole has that stamina to go even like 110. So like the over here, I think he can definitely hit 100 pitches, and it's always a little bit risky with pitches thrown because it depends on how many pitches he has finishing off an inning. But I like the over here. And then on to hitting. These 2 are coming from the White Sox. And it's going to be Jose Abreu and Andrew Vaughn, 6.5 and 5.5 against Jose Berrios. So pulling up Jose Berrios, he's just been off. Like, I don't know a better way to put it. He's, not that great. He's definitely upped his K rate recently, but he's had a lot of easy matchups. Like, his hard hit rate is just insanely high. His K rate's down. Expected ERA is a lot higher than what it is right now. And he's had good matchups, Twins, Tigers, and Orioles. But now the White Sox, they're getting Tim Anderson back today, most likely leading off. So that's another bat that could do some damage. And they're playing at home, the White Sox are. So a guy like Andrew Vaughn, when you look at the pitches that Berrios throws, fastball, curve, sinker, changeup, particularly to righties, it's going to be the fastball, curve, and sinker. And then you look at how Vaughn hits against these pitches, 5 run value, 2, just the better pitches that he really hits are the 3 that Berrios throws the most. And then looking at just Berrios, I mean, the percentile rankings here, it's a lot of blue, and that's what we love to see. And I just think this is a good spot for Vaughn. I think his projection is just too low. And then with Abreu, he's a better hitter than Vaughn, yet his line's only 1 more point. So it makes sense if you want to just stack these 2 guys together, take something else for the third prop, because you do have to make entry with at least 2 different teams. Just this is really, really good. All of these stats here for Abreu, batting 264, 304 expected though, and a 55% hard hit rate against someone who is in the bottom for hard hit percentage. That just lines up. So really like both of these guys. And then for a hits and walks prop, it's going to be Taylor Ward, 1.5 hits and walks. Taylor Ward, he's dealt with some injuries this season, so he hasn't played the entire season. But this is going to be almost a week back since his injury, and his stats look great. A lot of red, one we want to see against Chris Bubich. Talked about this guy last time I was on the mound. Somehow hit the over on fantasy score, but we did make some money off of his over-earned runs. This spot against the Angels, I mean, this guy away, not like he's any good on home either, but his splits, he's not good against lefties either. And he's one of the worst pitchers in all of baseball. Walk rate 6th percentile. So for a guy that is in the 97th percentile for walks, that looks certainly really good. And 14.1% walk rate to be exact. Hard hit rates good enough there. And I think when you're able to take a hits and walks prop with a pitcher that does walk a lot of guys, it just fits. So usually I like to take the unders for this category, but for this one, I like it. Ward, his fantasy projection is set at 7.5. So when the line is at that point, I do look to the other categories more. So that's why I'm going to take the over for this prop for Ward. And then runs and RBIs, there's really nothing here. They're pretty tight with all the lines here. And then total bases are not up yet, but the ones that I do have an eye on, Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts, JD Martinez, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Mike Trout, of course. So if those are up, then I'm going to take the overs, but that category not up yet, so I'll update you guys. And then also with the Mets situation if something crazy happens, but we only got a 9-game slate, so keep it light again. This is a new week, so a lot of different new matchups. Going to be a full slate of games on Tuesday, and hopefully get some good lines to lock in for Tuesday. So thank you guys for watching. Good luck on the slate, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.